Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Oh, yes. This is definitely Freed on Business, and I apologize for being a couple of minutes late getting on the air, but I'm working on an enormous transaction. I should live so long that it closes. It will, because you see me, I'm under the rainbow. And Ignacio, you'll be next. Our guest today is Ignacio Diaz. He is the developer in downtown Boca that's making it happen. He's building on my favorite Italian restaurant site. I hate you for that, Ignacio. But it was a great place, but some things are under improvements and they have to go. I actually know the guys that live behind you, too. So it's a great project. It's a great place to live. We're going to talk to Ignacio about what he sees happening in downtown Boca. In the second half of the show, we'll be joined by my partner, Ed Cairo, and we're going to talk about how we can do loans for people that buy in Ignacio's project. And because I'm in capital markets, I can also help him get a capital markets partner for phase 3. So it is a tremendous day. I want to thank our friends at Boardroom Communications for putting us together with Ignacio. I apologize again for being late, but I am under the rainbow, and it's time to rock the house. Let's sell some cars, and then we'll be back to help people get their deals started. Reagan, take it. South Florida's longest running business talk show. We're entering our 13th year, and our sponsor since 2012, that's a long time, is Warren Henry. My friends Larry, Eric, and of course, Warren. Hey, if you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar. Ignacio can't believe this is actually happening. He's standing amazed. Every single time it's like this, Ignacio. Why? Because I love them. They treat me like family. When you go to their store at 151st and Biscayne, they've got Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar. Up in Audi, up in Gainesville, they have Audi. Down to the Keys, they've got all the name brands. What do they all have in common? Well, they all come with a Warren Henry advantage. What is that? That's a long list of great things. It's a different list. That's their specials on service. They've got great service up there. Go see May Stark. She's my service person. When you get service, they give you complimentary loaner, dynamic wheel protection, key replacement, guaranteed purchase offer, best value guarantee, and the 72-hour exchange. You can take 3 days to make sure you like your car. Let me tell you, you will. Join lots of my friends, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian, and me. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. Yeah, love wins, and you always have to have a positive attitude. How do I know? Because that's how I get business. All I do all day long is project my positive attitude and the fact that I want to execute my personal brand. What does that mean? That means all I want to do is self-actualize by helping other people achieve their dreams. You're going to hear me talk to Ignacio in a few minutes. We're going to learn about his project. I'm going to talk to him about how I might be able to help. So you'll learn about me and what I do, Ignacio and what he does, and it's going to be tremendous. And remember, if you need debt or equity for your capital markets transaction, or you have a jumbo mortgage that you need closed, give me a call, because when you call me, it is always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Yeah, I'm sitting here and I apologize. I'm doing what I never want to do. I'm doing well, actually, I do want to do it, not while I'm on the podcast. I'm doing business, but the transaction's really big and it's time sensitive, and that's what we do in real estate. Ignacio Diaz is here. Ignacio is the developer in downtown Boca that's bringing beautiful, luxury, vertical home living. You can buy a home from Ignacio and see at least the Intercoastal, and even, can you see the beach from there, Ignacio?
I can see the beach from here. Actually, I can walk to the Intercoastal. I can actually see, the resort, the Intercoastal. I can walk 5 minutes to the beach, and I can walk 5 minutes to Meisner Park from where I am.
It's tremendous. You should give a bicycle to every person that buys a unit there, because they can go one way and have a ride in the most relaxing upscale residential neighborhood. They can go for a ride in a different direction, have a wonderful night out. They can go to the resort, or they can go to their office. They can do it's live, work, play is what I said on my ad. This is tremendous. How did you come up with this concept, Ignacio?
Well, I actually moved to Boca in 2013, and I was developing in some other cities in South Florida. I did, some townhomes in Fort Lauderdale. I did condominiums in Deerfield Beach, but I fell in love with Boca. I think Boca is absolutely unique in how it's run as a municipality, in everything it has to offer in terms of services, schools, resorts, golf courses if you're a golfer, and it's just, dining is amazing. It's just I fell in love with it, and then I found the locations, and I think now we're just locking the corner where we're developing this specific building. I think it's the last jewel in downtown Boca Raton, and it's in the intersection of the city and the sea, like we like to call it. And here we are. I mean, it's just by living here. This is where I choose to live, and this is what I promote to. Go ahead.
100% agree with you. I worked in downtown Boca for 5 or 6 years. It was the old NCNB building, the white one with all the thing on the outside. So I worked there for a number of years. Used to come in about 5:36 in the morning because I didn't want to beat traffic. I never moved from Miami. I'd eat at the Einstein Brothers Bagels, and then I go to work. Lunch would be at the Italian restaurant that's right on the spot where you're building your stuff. So I can attest to the fact that it is an easy walking distance to everything that you want to do in Boca Raton. For goodness sakes, it's really not even a sweat to walk to Publix from there.
No, that's exactly right. Listen, right across my office, I have Trattoria Romano, the best Italian restaurant. Then I have La Nouvelle Maison, the best French restaurant. Then I have Il Mulino from New York. And then I have 75 restaurants within walking distance just from where we are. And what you pointed, James, about, people who come with their bike, I mean, that's a lot of what we see here. It's an active downtown that I think is going to be very hard to be replicated. People come here because they want some level of urban living, and without missing the quality of life, right? I mean, without missing the outdoors, without missing going to the beach, without missing the resort, without missing any of that. Go ahead.
I want to ask a question. Let's talk about the project for a moment. Mm-hmm. What makes your project special? And the reason I'm asking is I live in about a 2,000 square foot penthouse in Miami, and it's getting a little too congested, a little too expensive, a little too anxiety filled to live down here. My wife and I are looking for a home, but we don't want to have any of the maintenance issues. Softball, tossed at you. Please hit it out of the park.
Absolutely. So the first thing is boutique, right? We only have 48 residences, which feels very different to a very high, high rise. The second thing, I mean, you mentioned you're probably going through COVID, and you're going through the elevators and the hallways and everybody, and you don't know where they've been, and you run across them in the lobby. This is a building where you absolutely, you have a private elevator into your unit. The elevator can open directly into your unit or into a hallway. You choose where you want to open your elevator. And then you have a unit that always have at least 270 degrees of light. There's no hallway.
This is what I use to go in the elevator, okay? I spray the elevator. I make sure it's clean.
Right. I
put on goggles, which if I put those on, I'd look too silly.
Right.
So we are definitely looking for a place where we can walk up the stairs to our place. So if you have an empty unit on 2, 3, or 4, you got a buyer, okay? Perfect. I'm not sure if we want to go up all the way to 8, but I love your location because all I have to do is get in my car and it knows the way down Palmetto Park Road. And in 2 seconds on the easiest east-west road in Palm Beach County, I am on I-95.
That's exciting.
Bang! And then I'm anywhere. And that same road goes to the turnpike, right?
That's exactly right. And now we're getting also the train, the all aboard train, the Also here in downtown Boca, we have theater, we have museum. It's truly a live, work, and play location that it's very hard to beat. But as I was telling you about the units, they're all large, expansive. They're all very private. They're all extremely high end, and they are. This is the type of condo you want in a pandemic world. In a world with a pandemic, in a world like we're living, it's so private. It has so much outdoor space so that you don't feel like, I'm inside my cage. You can actually go to a good balcony and a good terrace. You can have a barbecue in your balcony.
How big is my balcony? Where I live, I have a 2,000 square foot unit and a 700 square foot balcony. Beat it.
Yeah. Well, How
big is my balcony?
We can beat I can make you a 1,000 square foot balcony if you want.
Sold.
Right. So. And you can actually cook a barbecue in your balcony,
really,
with a gas grill that you cannot get in very other few places. These are condos that feel like residences, like home, like single family, but with the ease of living that you close it. You don't have to be chasing the landscape guy or the pool guy or having issues with
It's for me. It's for me. I'm your guy.
Right.
Okay? I asked for you to be on the show because I wanted to hear about it. I wanted to learn about it. I capitalize these things. I finance townhome developments. I finance condo developments. I finance apartment deals. And my equity source in New York already asked me for more information on you and your projects because they're exciting to people from New York who get it.
Yeah.
Okay, they get it. They know that their friends need to be down here, live outside, and have transportation vertically through the submarket. What I'd like to talk about in the next segment is the amenity package and general pricing. Would you be able to stick around, Ignacio, and talk for another segment?
Absolutely. I'd love to.
Awesome. Reagan, take it away. We'll be right back. I'll still be under the rainbow. We're going to talk to Ignacio. I'm making this up strictly for my wife, and I'm going to take this call right now. Back after this. This is where I go. This is South Florida's longest running business talk show. And that's the first time in 586 segments, 586 shows that I actually had to take a business call. So I apologize for that. And I will tell everybody about that call should it come true, because it will be news, because everything I do is news. Anyway, hey, if you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's right, Ignacio. I make it happen. You're watching it happen right here.
Watching it happen. It's amazing. You're amazing.
You didn't even hear what I did. If you heard what I did, then you'd really be happy, because I'm going to do that for you too. What is it that I do? Oh, that's not part of the show. That's the next ad. This is Warren Henry. That's right, my friends at Warren Henry. Why are they sponsors? Again, they're sponsors because of the energy that I put out, and it's very consistent with their brand. Their brand is that everybody is family. And it's the truth, because when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. And that's why you have to check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar. They're all tremendous cars. Down in the Keys, they sell all kinds of name brands. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audi. Sorry, I'm making mistakes, but my phone is popping. What do all those brands have in common? Well, besides being great cars, they come with the Warren Henry Advantage. And the Warren Henry Advantage is a bunch of things that come with the car. It's complimentary service loaner, dynamic wheel protection, key replacement, guaranteed repurchase offer, best value guarantee, and the 72-hour exchange. You can take 3 days to decide whether you like your car. You're not going to exchange it. You're going to love it. Those cars are amazing. I love them. I've had one for like 30 years, longer than I've known Vivian. So join me, my friends, and my beautiful wife, Vivian. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service. That's right. Always Warren Henry. I've got it back.
Hey, this is Becca Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
She is so great. I can't give her enough credit and kudos. In fact, Regan, remember, we're going to give her some kudos on LinkedIn today. Hey, everybody, give me a call. I'm doing my magic on the show today. I'm negotiating one of my biggest deals ever. Let's see if it closes. You never know until the check clears. Am I right, Ignacio?
You're totally right. You have to wait for that flyer.
What does that mean? That means I'm always chasing the rainbow for my clients. Why? Because when you call me, it's all about you. That's no BS. I just got off the phone with one of the toughest clients I've ever had. I had to go through her attorney. I haven't talked to them for the entire transaction because I represent the other side. Finally, I'm reaching out to the borrower. I've had to go through and bypass their broker who's going crazy here because he needs to make a commission, but he may not know how to close the deal. That's right. Let me bring my gray hair to your transaction. I'll help you close the deal. I promise. Ignacio, we'll have a call. Why? Because I have clients that want to finance condos. I'm doing a condo inventory loan. That's what these calls are about. All kinds of creative capital. That's what the market's going to require more and more after what we finish, what is now the quiet period of forbearance. Listen to the shows. Listen to what I talk about. Feel my energy. If you want to have a positive execution and be with somebody who knows how to get it done and works just for you, give me a call. 305-773-6300 gets me. And when you call me, it is always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Yes, that's right. I'm telling the guys right now on my text. They said, well done. Let's see what they say. I said, thank you. I know when to pull the trigger. Okay? What it really is about doing real estate deals, a lot of it is just timing and patience and discipline. We're on today with Ignacio Diaz. He knows about timing and discipline because he took the time to find the right site in Boca, the one that I want to live with me and my wife, because I want to tell the story about how I used to eat Italian dinner there 20 years ago. Ignacio, high five to you for finding that site. Now, tell me a little bit about the units. I want to understand the amenities. I want to understand the pricing. I want to understand the people that are going to be my neighbors. Go.
Sure. Pricing starts around $2 million. Keep in mind, these are very large units. They can go up to $10 million for a very, for an incredible.
How big? How big?
They start at 2,400, 2,500 square feet.
And that's cheap.
Yeah.
That's cheap.
That's exactly right.
That's cheap.
But very high end, very luxurious units.
What kind of appliances?
Wolf and Sub-Zero appliances, Snidero kitchens, coming from Italy. Porcelain floors throughout, quartz countertops.
Come on, man! Wow.
With gas with.
How about ceiling heights? Ceiling heights.
The ceiling heights go up to 11.5 feet, floor to ceiling. They depend on the unit. They start at 9.5 for ceiling height.
Now, if I'm in your penthouse unit, I can see the Intercoastal and the beach, right?
You can see the Intercoastal, the beach, the resort. You can see north. You can see south. You can see Fort Lauderdale from that unit. It's unbelievable.
I love it.
And you're yes, absolutely.
Now, how long do you think it takes to get to the airport from there? Because you're between both of them.
Right. I mean, I would say it's about 20, 25-minute drive to each airport, either to Fort Lauderdale, to Palm Beach. You can also take, the Boca Regional Airport if you're flying private, and it's a 7-minute drive to
everybody's going to fly
to the private. Right.
So who am I living with? Am I living with people that moved from South Florida? Are these transplants from up north? Is it really North Miami Beach North, where everybody's like me? You know what I mean?
We actually have a good amount of people coming from Aventura, Miami, that they just want, not so much traffic.
It's my place.
A very clean and well-managed municipality, very well run, and we're actually, that's what we're, we see some of that. Lately we're also seeing for sure some transplants from New York and Chicago coming here, because I think everyone's coming because of the tax situation and other reasons. How much we're growing in Florida in general, and I think Boca Raton is size constrained. I mean, these things not going to be overdeveloped like other municipalities, right? I mean, there's a limit to how much we can build, and people see that, and they want to get in now, and they want to get in early, because it's a supply and demand game.
Hold on. While it's a supply and demand game, let's talk about it for just 1 second from somebody who has a historic perspective and has a real history and track record in urban redevelopment. Yeah. This thing is a ULI case study, what they've done in Boca. They've been lucky to have Jim Batz-Mazian, who controlled a lot of land, that could drive a lot of it and create a nice template. And then a lot of people came there and did some really beautiful things to set up the neighborhood for you. What I'd like to do, I've got to go now, Ignacio. We're going to end right now. What I'd like to do is get together with you sometime in Boca and take a tour, maybe do a Facebook Live walk around or on something like that to really see your project, because I'm not kidding. My wife and I, we want to move. Where do we want to move? We want to move there. I have friends that live on the other side of the resort. My wife's best friend lives in all those homes over there. We don't want a home. We want your condo. We want your condo. I have the down payment, and I am financeable, and I want to come. And that's it.
Come over. I
am coming there. Don Silver, you do not get a commission because you don't have a real estate license. I'm going to take the commission. Woof. Ignacio, thank you so much for coming on. I can't wait to come see your project, your little baby up there. I can't wait to talk to you about how my team would love to capitalize the next phase, and also hear about your pipeline, which we would also like to capitalize.
Absolutely. I love to see you here. I love to talk more to you about business. 100%.
That sounds great. Listen, again, thanks to Don Silver and the team at Boardroom Communications. This shows you the value of networking and using Boardroom to do your PR. Ignacio Diaz, thank you so much. We're going to make money together.
Thank you, James. Have a great day, okay?
You too. All right. We're going to come back with my partner, Ed Cairo. You can stay if you want, Ignacio, but you already know the mortgage market is hot, and somebody needs help if they need a mortgage that's over $500,000, and we're the people to do it. Ignacio Diaz, he's bringing product to the market. We'll help you get it financed. Stick with me. Right after this, we're going to talk what's going on in the mortgage market with Big Ed Cairo. Reagan, take it away. Fun today. I am having so much fun today. I'm working on the biggest transaction of my life. It is at the critical juncture where everybody's saying yes, no, maybe so, I don't know. And I'm going to stick through, and I'm going to see it to the end. And when I'm done, I'm going to be proud, and I'm going to make a nice donation to some worthy charity here in the community. And I'm going to help people eat food that can't eat. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to donate it to the food bank. That's what I'm going to do. Donate money to the food bank. That's going to be the next thing I do. Hey, listen, everybody. This is South Florida's longest running business talk show. Why? Because I just love doing this. Because I've got a great sponsor like Warren Henry. That's right, Reagan. Warren Henry's the guy that pays your salary. Everybody, when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry, Range Rover, Land Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audis. I want to get one of the big Audi sports cars. They're so smoking hot. Or down in the Keys, you can get everything. My wife, I think I might get her a Wrangler. I love those things. They hold more value. They hold their value really well. Doesn't matter. All those cars come with the Warren Henry package, the Warren Henry Advantage. That means you get complimentary service loaner, dynamic wheel protection, key replacement, guaranteed purchase offer, best value guarantee, the 72-hour exchange, and that's the big one. That gives you 3 days to decide whether you like your car or not. You always like your car. Always. I have lots of friends that buy there. I buy there. My mom buys there. So join me, my mom, and my beautiful wife, Vivian. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best service. Always the best price. Always Warren Henry. All right, everybody. This is where I talk about the fact that I do mortgages. I'm on the phone right now texting with an old friend, known the guy for 35 years. He's the key. We've been dealing with a very, very, very dysfunctional situation, and I've let the other broker deal with it. But now we're at the point where the rubber hits the road. We have to have an answer. We can't get the other side on the phone. At least this other broker couldn't. So what happens? I get involved. I call my friend for 35 years. Magically, we start getting on the phone with the other side, and I am praying that we are able to get the deal done. And I know the radio show works because I'm getting texted by somebody who wants to be Ignacio's GC. So what does this mean? What this means is please call me. Please reach out to me if I can help you with anything, even if it's just advice. Let me bring some gray hair to the table. It's always because you call me. It's always about you. That's what I say every time, but I really mean it. I really do. Call me and try me. Reagan Mendoza will tell you that it's always all about him. So give me a call, 305-773-6300. Let me help you with your real estate capital, either your residential mortgage. You'll hear me talking to my partner Ed in a couple minutes about that, or your commercial mortgage. In any event, when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
So let's talk about the residential mortgage market. You like my new glasses? They cost me $25 at Walgreens. I lost my other glasses. What are you going to do in life? Residential mortgages. First of all, let's talk about why I got into the residential mortgage business. I got into the residential mortgage business because I hold the NMLS license. Not a lot of people hold that. It's boring. It's hard. It's out of the 2008 meltdown. So not a lot of people are mortgage brokers anymore. I went out and I searched for who should be the person that I put my license with. I ran into all kinds of mortgage brokers. First guy I ran into, he was getting high on his pipe every time I called him. Then I went on a Saturday and met somebody up in Boca. When I was done meeting with them, they had a bong on their table too. I don't know how I was meeting all these people. Just when I thought I wouldn't meet the right person, I met Ed and his brothers. Ed and the Mortgage Brothers, they are tremendous. They're three guys from Long Island who came down there with their dad to open up an Italian restaurant, and then they went into the mortgages. One of the brothers has an MBA, just like me. What do? We specialize in the hard-to-close deals. Some people can go to their wealth manager, and they can get a line or a loan from their wealth manager, but some people can't. Some people find out they're not perfect. If there's a glitch in today's world, they kick you out because they're so busy. But because we know the different lenders and what each lender likes, we're going to send a package to them and hit their hotspot. You say package? Yeah, it takes about this much information to get a deal done. And we won't send it out unless it's just about perfect. Why? Because when the lender gets it, they know that it's just about perfect. And they won't be wasting their time, and they can give us a fast answer. Typically, we get an answer within a couple of days after submitting a package. Now, sometimes it's still subject to additional underwriting, but that's where the art of the deal comes in. Sorry, I had to borrow that from somebody. Ed knows who to call. He knows what to do. He knows what to ask for and what to do with it. He knows the approach that is best for you, and he will select from his matrix of people. I sought this out so you didn't have to. I spent a year looking for Ed. Ed and I have now closed a number of deals. Let's talk about some of them. One deal was for $400,000. It was for a guy who had perfect credit, he thought, but he didn't. He had one bill that he had mailed to the wrong place and it came up late. So that knocked his credit score down and hurt him. Cost him about 5 basis points on his percentage. The next deal we did was for, that guy worked for a public-private lobbying firm. Now, another client of mine is a commercial real estate broker. He's a leasing agent. He has a $2 million home that we just refinanced for $1.6 million. He got his rate lowered to approximately 3%. We did such a great job and got him such a great loan, and the process was so easy that his closing agent is now sending us transactions to do and recommending us. There is nothing that is more rewarding and a better pat on the back than having one of the service providers within your transaction referring business to you. I'm so glad that I'm able to have that. In fact, I've met with an attorney earlier today, and she said to me that she'd like to refer me to people. And I said that the only thing that I want from the referral is that she gets a call back after I meet with her person, and they say, thank you so much for introducing me to Jim Freed. He brought great energy, positive energy to the table, and great fresh ideas. Oh, I'm going to write that down. That's tremendous. Because that's the truth. I bring positive energy and great ideas and a fresh approach. A lot of the deals that I work on in the capital markets have been beaten up and flogged. They come to me because they don't know what to do next. Typically, I can handle the situation with one phone call. That's what I did for the Lombardi family on the Wynwood Yard transaction. At the time, I had just left the Aztec Group and I was sharing space. Dave Lombardi was very nice. He was allowing me to work out of his conference room, and everybody knows I'm really loud. So high five to Dave, and I apologize again for all the guys at the office for being really loud. And as soon as I heard the deal that they had on Wynwood Yard fall through, I said, Dave, would you mind if I just make one phone call to somebody? I'd like to call Omar from Lennar. Omar was here the other day. We went and had lunch. He said hi. He said, yeah, sure. Call your friend Omar. Wink, wink. I knew Omar wanted to do that deal. So I immediately called Omar. He put it under contract. And now if you drive down 29th Street in Wynwood, you'll see a beautiful project going on. And there's another project, Caddy Corner, that my friends at IFB financed. High five to Victor Lopez for doing that one. Victor's another lender that I do business with. So call me, because I originally got started with the residential mortgages by placing them for foreign nationals. Now we're doing them for U.S. residents more than foreign nationals. Everybody's calling me. Everybody's redoing their mortgage. Everybody is trying to get a lower rate, more proceeds. The one thing they don't realize is how difficult the process is. So give me a call, because the process is difficult and you will need a concierge. So let's go to a break a little bit earlier now, and I'm going to go find Ed, because Ed, I know, is closing a deal for somebody right now. So Reagan, take it away, and we'll be right back with more Freed on Business. Everybody, we are South Florida's longest running business talk show. You hear all the experts here on our show, and you get great information that you can use every day immediately to make your life better. You just heard about the great living in Boca Raton. I got a text from one of my friends. It's a GC asking if Ignacio already had a GC. So that's right. Freed on Business works for everybody. I know it works for Warren Henry because they've been a sponsor since 2012. That's like 8 years. High five to me for being able to sell that many cars. And high five to Larry, Warren, and Eric for sponsoring our show. I really appreciate it, because they help me get the good word out all the time. When you look at a buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar, they're all exceptional cars. They all come with the Warren Henry advantage. That means you can buy a Land Rover, Range Rover, an Infiniti, or a Jaguar at their new store on 151st and Biscayne. Up in Gainesville at their store, they've got Audis. It's a tremendous place. I've been there. Down in the Keys, they have all the name brands, Jeep, everything. So if you need a car, check out those places. And what do they have in common? Well, they're all great cars, and they all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. That means you get complimentary service loaner, dynamic wheel protection, key replacement, guaranteed purchase offer, best value guarantee, and the 72-hour exchange. You can take 3 full days to check out your car and be sure it's for you. It will be. So join me, my wife, and my beautiful mom. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You will be too. I keep going back and forth and turning colors. It's hilarious. All the best. Oh, well, you should be a member of Warren Henry's family also. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
This is Becca Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
Hey, everybody, I'm still here working. What am I going to do? It's just one of those days. Hey, listen, give me a call if I can help you. I help lots of families with their real estate deals every day. I help them get a home with my mortgage company. I help them get hard money loans for their commercial deals. I help them get bridge loans. I'm doing an inventory loan that's $100 million. It's tremendous. I'm doing a home loan for $1.5 million. So I can help you. Give me a call, 305-773-6300. Ed says he's going to get off the phone. Let's see if he joins us in the next segment. But it doesn't matter. When you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Eddie?
Yes, hi, Jim.
Eddie, listen, I wanted to get you on the phone if for no other reason.
Hi there,
Thank
Jim.
you.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you to you and the brothers for giving my clients such service that now the closing agents are calling us and sending us unsolicited transactions. You're amazing.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jim. That's what we strive for. That's tremendous. Love to
Now,
hear that.
Ed, let's talk a little bit. You know, everybody has programs. Everybody's got, canned programs. But the thing that I found in working with you is that you can get somebody's file to the top of the pile extremely fast. And that's, very important in today's world, especially when somebody's under a time constraint. When I first met you, you made sure that every file I worked on was perfect. And I thought that might be just a little bit too much work. But you insisted, and now I see why. Tell me how you get people to the top, Ed.
Well, because what happens is, a lot of mortgage brokers or lenders or whoever will take documents from people, not even read them, and they kind of throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and hope they get approved. And we don't take that approach. The approach that we take is, I've been doing this 25 years, so I underwrite the file myself before it even goes. And if I don't have some of the documents, and people in some cases, they think they send you documents, but they don't really understand. And we read every single document before it goes to a lender for a lot of reasons. So I will, hold up before I upload anything to a lender, and I will make sure I have all the documents needed so I can do one upload and have the least amount of conditions possible. And the lenders and underwriters really appreciate our service. I get a lot of kudos from them because they know that they're getting a quality file from us. So it tends to go to the top because they know they can underwrite it quickly because I've already done it for them. And not only that, we've walked them through, like on bank statements, we literally point them to where the deposits are, where this, that, and we actually underwrite it for them. So they appreciate that.
That sounds so easy to do, Ed, if only people really knew. Let's kind of go through it just a bit.
Okay.
Now that we're at the end of 2020 and it's post-COVID, what's happened to the underwriting? Because it used to be that we could get it done with just the last 2 years of tax returns and a couple of bank deposits. What's going on here? Can you hear me? Ed will be right back. What Ed was saying was a lot of the lenders have additional requirements above and beyond what the federal government
COVID guidelines. And the reason why they have them so that, March, April, May, June, businesses have been closed.
So what happens is that, Fannie and Freddie have their own guidelines, but then the banks have their own guidelines on top of those, and they call them overlays, where they're a little bit more conservative in some cases. So what's going on with the self-employed borrowers especially is not only do they want to see the 2000 and let's say in this case 18 and 19 personal and corporate tax returns, but they're looking for a P&L for the whole year from January to present. And they also want to back that up with corporate bank statements showing the deposits were actually made, because what they're looking for is they want to see that you're on pace in 2020 to make what you were making, let's say, that back in 2019.
I think that that's reasonable, Ed. I think, as a taxpayer that would have to bail out a bank if it made a bad loan, I think that this is a very reasonable approach. Now, that P&L, does it have to be certified by my CPA, or can it just be put out by QuickBooks, which is a lot easier for me?
Well, there's one, either or. You can either have an audited P&L by the accountant, which in most cases people don't do that. You can pull it right out of your QuickBooks as long as you sign it, and as long as you back it up with two statements from your corporate bank statements, you're fine.
Now, that's nuanced, and it used to be that you could call up the IRS and confirm all of these tax returns were okay and that they were exactly what was filed and no one was sending you something fraudulent. But with this COVID stuff and all of the identity theft, that's been changed. And people don't realize that it's an extra step they need to take. There are other things, too, that are new, aren't there?
There are. And there's a document called the 4506T. Right. And we normally get that signed, and then we can go right to the IRS and get the transcripts for their last two tax returns. And what the lender will do is they'll compare it to obviously what they submitted to the lender to make sure that's what the IRS has. So the IRS has had these shutdowns. So you can now go to the irs.gov and pull your own tax transcripts, which prior to this, the lenders didn't take them from the customer. Now they will. So there's a lot of changes, a lot of things that have happened. Things are going a little bit slower, a little tougher to get loans closed for a lot of reasons. Partly the people at the banks, a lot of them are working out of their homes. The appraisers are taking a little bit extra time. I mean, it's just been a little bit on the challenging side, but that's why I was saying before, that's why we do all the work we can up front, because when I pre-qualify them, I want everything. And I'm going to pre-qualify them, I'm going to underwrite them, and then we're going to send it in. We avoid a lot of time that way, a lot of extra time.
One of the mistakes, I got a call from one of our borrowers last night. He goes, this broker is showing him deals that require all cash closing. What I told him was his broker needs to show him deals where he can get 45 to 60 days to close, and it should be financing contingent, only because it's so tough to get through this process right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And the interesting thing is, and the fact is, it's real. I mean, everybody that I talk to on the lending side understands that, things are moving a little slower. The title companies all understand it. But the realtors, for some reason, have been writing a lot of these 30-day closings, these contracts with 30-day closing. And the sellers are kind of digging their heels in, and they want to close right now and all this. And I talk to the realtors and say, listen, get a little extra time, because if in the event it takes time for whatever reason, there's things that come up that we aren't even privy to at this point. Why would everybody kill each other to try to get this thing closed when, if we had enough time, everything's going to be fine. So some understand it and some don't. And I get contracts in with, 20-day mortgage contingencies and 25-day closings. And, in the real world, in the old days, that's one thing. But nowadays, it's a little challenging. And it's just not, in my opinion, not the right thing to do.
Ed, we've only got a couple of minutes left. What is the biggest mistake that borrowers make when they go for a residential mortgage?
Well, the biggest mistake, in my opinion, that they make is they start buying before they buy the house. So now their debt load is a little bit more than it should be. That would be one of them. Obviously credit score issues, missing payments, things like that. I mean, if somebody wants to buy a house, they really need to just, concentrate and focus on the house. And in a lot of cases, they'll call me, and even if it's 6 months from now or whatever, I lay out a strategy to make sure that by the time we're ready to get to the point where they're buying that property, they've done all the things that we talk about: saving the money, no extra debt, getting the credit scores as high as possible, so on and so forth.
I have to call you Coach from now on. You're amazing. Okay, so we've been on today with Coach Ed Cairo.
There you go.
Coach Ed Cairo. Coach Cairo is teaching me and my clients how to get their deals done. And my clients, they're never perfect, or they wouldn't be my clients, at least financially. And what we do is we help craft everything. I use Coach Cairo to make sure that everything is as close to perfect as possible. That's why all the lenders love to get our packages. That's why you get the best execution. That's why we close and people send us deals unsolicited. So Absolutely. This is my turn, Ed. This is where I say in public, thank you. I want to thank you for all of the coaching that you've done, for helping me keep well-grounded and focused through all this time. But the most important thing that you've done so far, Ed, is you've been my friend.
Yes.
I really appreciate that. In these times, the most difficult thing to find is somebody that's truly your friend. And I can't thank you enough. And I promise you that for my lifetime, I will always be there for you and your brothers. I'll continue to bring great ideas. I promise I'll help your son, Mike, achieve whatever his goals are. And I will continue to work with you guys forever. You are great. I love co-branding with you and working with you. So Ed Cairo and the Mortgage Brothers, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Well, you're absolutely welcome. And I'm going to throw in one other kudos to my daughter, Hannah, who's now our social media director.
I couldn't give her kudos because she hasn't finished up with me. And, this is parts for her, Ed. You see, this part's for her. All right? She's afraid of me and Rebecca. We want to make her a superstar.
Absolutely.
We will. We will. Hannah, this is for you. I left you out because you ain't dogged in yet. We're ready for you. You know what else I want to do? I want to give a shout out to the first responders, the healthcare heroes, especially to my wife who takes, I don't know how she does it. There is a pathway to heaven for the woman that is married to a real estate guy that it's just there. Right, Ed?
Yes, absolutely.
So all of those great people, a shout out to Warren Henry, our sponsors, Creco AI, Carlson Integrated, Reagan Mendoza, Turkel Brands, Alan Garfinkel. Please go to our Facebook page, like our show, tell your friends. The Bergstrom Center for Real Estate Studies loves us. I want to thank you, our listener, viewer, our participant. Without you, I wouldn't have a podcast. Warren Henry, I thank them. I never can thank them enough. Join our community, network with me, give me feedback, comments. Tell me who you want to hear from, what you want to hear about. Tweet at me, at Jim Freed, at Freed on Business, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. The website gets thousands of hits. It's tremendous. If you missed today's show, it'll be up by Friday. Reagan, make sure it is. I might even put it up on LinkedIn earlier than that in a raw form. This is Jim Freed for Freed on Business. We'll be back next Wednesday at noon before Thanksgiving. We're going to have a special social media show. We're going to talk about how I project my brand using my marketing team. Reagan and Becca have been preparing for this show for a month. It's going to be Awesome, baby. Remember, the person who wants to do something finds a way, the other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you, and God bless America.